Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So inshallah we will learn 2 ayats of Surah Faatir today. Ayat number 5 and 6. So let's do a simple translation first. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the mankind in ayat number 5 by saying, Ya ayyuhan nas, O the mankind. And here is all the people are being addressed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna wa'adallahi haqqun. So the first part of the statement is that indeed, surely, the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is true. Then Allah mentions one more thing after that, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. So, the life of this world, the worldly life that we are living, let it not deceive you. One thing. The second thing is that وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ, and let not deceive you billahil gharur, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the deceiver. And we will look into more details. Who is the deceiver who deceives or beguiles us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the guidance to the wrong path. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next ayat, ayat number 6, mentions about inna shaitana, surely indeed shaitan, lakum, to you, and to you is all the mankind, aduvun, is an enemy. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands the mankind, all the people, fattakhizuhu aduwa, make sure you take him as your enemy. He is your enemy, so regard him as true enemy to you. Innama yad'u, he invites, he calls, his bahu, his group. Now we'll have explain what his group, his party is. Liyakunu, so you may be, or you may become, you all people may become, min ashabis sa'ir, among those people who will be in the blazing fire, in the hellfire. So this is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding and warning the mankind that take shaitan as your enemy, not as your friend, otherwise you will become one of his party, and your end will be that So, inshallah, we'll go and do a breakdown of the verses. This word Ya Ayyuha, I explained last time. Ya Ayyuha is a word which is used to address someone, like O. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing all the mankind, all the people by Annas. So as I mentioned, the distinction is that when after Ya Ayyuha, the next word is Al. It starts with the Al here. It is Al-Naso, which is pronounced as An-Naso. So Al, because of Al, the calling word before that is Ya Ayyuha. If Al was not there, then it will be only Ya. So Ya and Ya Ayyuha have the same meanings, except that the usage is based on the next word. If it is Al, then Ayyuha is used. If it is not Al, then only Ya is used. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing all the mankind. Ya ayyuhan nas, O all the people, all the mankind. After that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding a fact, and the word starts with whichever the common word, root letters are Waw, Ain and Dal, Wa'ada. Wa'ada means to make a promise. And the noun or the word that we make is wa'adun. Full Arabic word starts with the two pesh or two dhammas at the end and pronounced as wa'adun. Wa'adun means promise. Then we combine this with the word Allahu, which is Allahu is the full word with the dhamma at the end. And when we combine these two by placing an of in between, it becomes promise of Allah or Allah's promise. And in English we put an of. In Arabic, the rule is that in the first word wa'adun, we remove one dhamma, one pesh, should become wa'adu. In the second word, we replace this dhamma to a kasra or a zair, and you pronounce them together without pronouncing this alif in between. So the word is wa'adullah. Important thing is that just the combination gives you wa'adullahi, promise of Allah. Now we add one more word before that, which is inna. Inna means surely. And inna has the characteristic that it looks as the next word, which is a noun, and changes this dhamma or a pesh to a kasra, fataha. So it becomes wa'adallahi. That's the word in the Quran. If inna was not there, this will remain wa'adullahi. Because of inna means surely. So first of all, Allah himself is making a statement and there is no doubt in that. But he is also using the word inna to re-emphasize that what is the promise of Allah? Inna wa'adallahi. Now what is that promise? Allah is using the word haqqun. And that's a common word. The root letters are ha, kaf and kaf, and this means to be true. Anything which is true is haqq, but full word is haqqun. And two kafs are written with a shadda, and we always put a tanween at the end. So this is the full word, haqqun. When we stop, we say haqq. Make sure you pronounce two kaf. Just don't say haqq. Haqqun is the correct pronunciation. True, truth, both are the meanings. So promise of Allah, and what is that promise? That's the whole Quran. Whatever Allah is promising in that is true, is truth, is going to happen. That is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after that, is mentioning a real fact of our life, which is فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. We have to translate all these four words together, but we'll do a breakdown first. And the breakdown will be, these are common words. First of all, ghain, ra and ra, gharara. Okay? And we know the word ghurur and gharur and many other words. What is the meaning of this? To deceive. Now, in Urdu, the meaning of the ghurur, that's the only word we know, it means to be arrogant. But that is not the meaning here. The Quranic meaning of these three letters is to deceive someone, to beguile someone. So we will use that meaning here, ghain, ra and ra. But before we go into the details of this word, I just want to point out a rule here, is that if you have these three letters, fa, and lam, which is our template, this means to do. If I make the following way a change, that if I put a la in the beginning, which brings the meaning of not, okay, and then I'm going to place two letters here one at a time. First, I'm going to put the letter ta in the beginning and pronounce as taf'al, la taf'al. Now, ta brings two meanings here, but the meaning that we are going to use is she. third person feminine. So the meaning will be La taf'al, it's a command, it's an order, and the meaning will be don't let her do it. Fa'ala means to do. La taf'al, don't let her, we don't know who that her is or she is. The meaning will be make sure she doesn't do that. If you are telling someone, a feminine, don't let her do something, or make sure she doesn't do something, that this ta is used for that. If I change this by a ya, then the meaning will be a masculine. Don't let him do. Okay, very simple, very straightforward. In one case, because both of them are coming here in the Quran, so I wanted to make sure we understand the difference between a ta and a ya. Ya is for a masculine. If you have a person, he is not with you, and you want him to stop doing something, then use the word la. And then whatever is that, use the letter ya. La yaf'al. Make sure he does not do it. Let him not do it. If you put a ta, it becomes feminine. Okay. Now, so here, this is the template, this is the rule we will use it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, we want to go back to the letters ghain, ra, and ra. Gharara. The meaning of this, as I mentioned, is to deceive something. Okay. Now, apply the same rule. First, apply the la. La will bring the meaning of not. Okay. And then put the letter ta. And that is for the feminine. Now, in this case, the middle letter carries a kasra. So, taghrur. La taghrur. So, this is a feminine. The meaning will be let her not deceive. Let her, make sure she does not deceive. Now, who is she and why are we using the feminine? Because the word after that is al-hayatud dunya. So first let me explain this word, and then we will combine with this thing and add few more things in there. So far the meaning of these four words, four letters is la taghrur, do not let her deceive. So when we have two similar letters, shadda, we can write down with one and a tashdeed or shadda. So la, it will be la taghur. But I'll just write down for now because we are going to modify this again with a shadda. So it will be pronounced la taghur. Do not, the meaning is the same. Do not let her deceive. Okay. Now, the next word is ha, ya, and ya. The noun from this is hayat. Hayat means life, and we use this word all the time. But the way it is written is a ha, ya with a fatha, and waw is written, it is not pronounced. So it's pronounced haya. And then when you put a ta, round ta, a feminine word, hayatun. Hayatun is the word. Hayatun means life. Okay. Now, this word has a round ta, which is called the ta marbuta. Whenever a noun has a round ta, it is a feminine word. For example, hamidatun is a feminine name. So this hayatun is a feminine word. So that is what we are using the letter ta here for a feminine, because hayatun is the feminine word. And now you combine this with one more word, ad-dunya. Dunya means worldly life. Actually, the literal meaning of dunya is near. So the word which is near to us, the word is this dunya. So hayatud dunya, life of this world. Hayatud dunya, this common word. Hayatud dunya means so when you combine these two, it will become hayatud dunya, life of the world, this world. And this is a feminine word. So that's the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using feminine here. So now, if I just combine these two, the meaning will be La taghur, do not let her deceive you, but her is hayatud dunya. So meaning will be, let not hayatud dunya, the life of this world, put you in a deception. Okay, but there are a couple other things that are going to happen here. Then in this word we are going to add a noon with a shadda. This is called noon-e-taqeed. What does it bring? It brings the emphasis is the statement. So instead of saying, do not let her deceive you, make sure she must not deceive you. So that is the reason of bringing this noon. Noon has nothing to this noon with a shadda. It's called noon-e-taqeed. Taqeed means emphasizing. So this is an addition to the statement that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing that it must not deceive you, the life of this world. Then Allah is using the word after that, kum. Kum means you, and you is pointing to all the mankind, you all. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that inna wa'adallahi haqqun, the promise of Allah is definitely true. Then Allah says, fala, so, fa means so or then. So or then, do not let the life of the world deceive you. It must not happen that this worldly life should put you into a deception. And there are many ways the human being falls into the deception of the worldly life. Some people think that this is the end of the life, and so do whatever you want to do, and that's a deception in the thinking process, that there will be no payment, there will be no recompense after this life, or there is no another life after this. So do whatever you want to do, enjoy whatever you want to do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, fala taghur. So when you combine these two, then you put a fatah on this one for the purpose of pronunciation. So fala taghurrannakum al hayatud dunya. Make sure that the life of this world does not deceive you, does not beguile you, does not put into deception. Dhoka na de aapko. Number one. Number two, then Allah says, wala yaghurrannakum billahil gharur. Okay, so let's break that down. The word is exactly same this time, except that wow means and again the la is there, but this time instead of a ta, this starts with a ya. Rest of the word are same, yaghurrannakum. And because we put a ya in there, this becomes he, a feminine. When there was a ta, this is a masculine. When there was a ta, it was a feminine. And feminine because hayatud dunya was feminine. But this time, some masculine thing is going to come and deceive you. So this is wala ya ghurrannakum. Everything is same. So let not, this time meaning will be, let him not put into the deception. Let him, who is this him this time? Something masculine is him who is going to put you into deception besides the worldly life. So who is that? First of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using the word billahi. So bi and Allahu is the word. Okay. And B can be translated many. So what is Allahu? B is a harf-jar. It can be translated as about, for example, or to, or many other ways. Let's just translate about. and harf jar B will change Allahu to Allahi. When you read them together, it is billahi. Okay, about Allah. So life, so someone should not put you into deception about Allah. Now, who is that someone? The word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again using the same root letters, but I want to explain that. Ghain, Ra, Ra are the root letters. That means the literal meaning we have been using so far is to deceive someone, dhoka dena. Now, in the literature, this word, if I write down with as Ghain, Ra, Vav and Ra, and on the letter Ghain, I put a pesh there, Dhamma, and pronounce as Guru Run. This means arrogance, and that's the word used in Urdu, Ghurur. Okay? But instead of the Dhamma here on the first letter, if I put a Fataha, it becomes a different meaning. So word everything is same except that we change this Fataha and a Dhamma. So meaning is different. Ghurur means to be arrogant, but Gharur is deception. Okay? So it's a very important thing that when we're reading the Quran, we pronounce correctly, otherwise the meaning will change. So that is the difference. Ghurur is commonly known in Urdu, that means arrogance. But Gharur is deception. Now, the word is, full word is Gharurun. So we are going to use this one in the Quran. So first thing you put al before that. Al means the, and al will remove one dhamma, so it becomes al ghururo. When you stop at the ayat, you pronounce al gharur. Al gharur is a deceiver. It has two meanings. It means a deceiver, someone who is deceiving you, as well as deception. It's a noun and a file both. So here, al applies generally in the interpretation of this word as the shaitan. This is used for shaitan. Al gharur. So Allah is saying, make sure that shaitan does not deceive you. This worldly life should not deceive you, must not deceive you, as well as the deceiver, the shaitan, must not deceive you. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next ayat is explaining that why He is warning mankind of these two things which are very important in the lifetime of a mankind. So what is the next ayat is saying? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala using the word inna shaitana. So the root letters are sheen, ta and noon. Shatana. Shatana means to rebel. The literal meaning is to rebel, to go against whatever is there is rebelling. Shatana. The noun from this is made as shaitanun. Shay, and it is written as shay, ta, and full word is always tanween at the end. So shaitanin. The meaning of this word is rebeller, the one who rebels. Okay? Then we put al before that. So as soon as you put al before that, it becomes the rebeller. There is only one, the rebeller. Who is that? Al will remove one dhamma, so it will become al shaitanu, and in the recitation, sheen kills the sound of lam and takes over its own sound twice, so it becomes ash-shaitanu. Okay? Ash-shaitanu is the most rebeller, the one who rebelled most against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he is Iblis. So literal meaning, shaitan is a grammatical word, but it's pointing to Iblis. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now is talking about Iblis, and he is calling him the most rebelling human, the rebelling being, which is call now ash-shaytanu. Then you put inna before that, and inna always changes last letter of the next word to a fataha, so it becomes definitely. Inna means definitely, surely, and you read them together. Inna shaitana, those are the words in the Quran. Indeed, surely, the Satan, the Iblis. What is Iblis? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using the word lakum. La means to or for. And kum is a plural for all of you. So here kum are you, but you are the mankind, all the mankind. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing all mankind by saying lakum, to all of you. Shaitan is something. What is he? Then the next word starts with ayn, dal and waw. The meaning of these three letters is to do animosity, to become enemy of someone. The noun is aduvun. Aduvun means enemy. And when we start, we says adu. This is also in Urdu used. But full word as aduvun, enemy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying now, indeed, surely, ash-shaitan, the Iblis, to you is an enemy. He is enemy to you because he promised to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he will be an enemy to the mankind. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning the human being in the next couple words. How is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warning? So let's try to understand the next word. First letter is fa. Fa means so or then. Okay. Now the word starts with alif, kha and zal. Akhadha. This word also we use in Urdu, natija akhz karna, means to draw some conclusion. Akhadha. These are the starting point of the three letters which belong to the group of fa'ala. We are going to make a bigger word. And one of the way of making bigger word is we add alif and a ta. We add two more letters, so it becomes 5-letter word. So we add an alif and a ta. Originally 3 letters are there. We added alif and a ta. So we are going to do the same thing. We are going to add alif and ta here. So alif is there, kha is there. We added a ta, akhaza, and so we are going to add, you could write underneath here, add an alif there, fa is alif here, and this thing add a ta there, and then ha and zal. Okay, so these are the 4 letters. Okay, so I'm going to write down alif again here, alif, alif, ta, kha and zal. These are the 5 letters. The meaning of these 5 letters is to take. Akhaza means to draw to a conclusion, but 5 letters is to take someone, to take something. Now in the tajweed recitation, when these, in this particular group of the words, when these 2 letters come together, they are pronounced as ta with a shadda. These 2 letters. So the final word is ittakhaza. Ittakhaza means to take something. Okay, so that is the word. Now here the word is fa is there, and ittakhaza, I'm going to write down ittakhaza together. Ittakhaza, and then wow I'm going to add later on, explain what that is and who is there. So this is, if I read them together, it is, alif is not pronounced, Fattakhizuhu. So ittakhaza means to take. Okay? And by saying this thing, adding a wow, it becomes a command, which means all of you, it's a plural, all take. So, who, him means him, and him is pointing to Shaitan. So Allah is telling all of the people, take him as your enemy. Take Shaitan as your enemy. He promised he is going to be your enemy. So, fattakhizu, so take him aduwan, your enemy. So Allah is warning the mankind that Shaitan has promised that he will be enemy to every single human being. So you, O people, Allah is warning in the Quran, you should take him as your enemy also. Just don't take him as just a normal or something that may not harm you. He is going to do the animosity. It doesn't matter how you are living in this worldly life. You are the most pious person, but he is still going to go after you and be your enemy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a command. Fattakhizu is a command going to all the mankind. All of you, make sure all of you take him as your enemy. Adu one is the same word, except that this time it's a maf'ul of taking. So two pesh changed to two fathas. Meaning does not change. It's still adu one. Okay. So Allah is telling mankind, take Shaitan as your enemy. Make sure you do that. Why? Allah is saying the word innama, his only job. Innama means only. You read together the word, it means only. Allah is saying what is his only function of Shaitan? Only. Dal, ain and waw means to call. Dua is from the same words. Ya, when you put a ya in the beginning, it becomes third person. Yad'u, yad'u means he calls, and it's a plural. He calls. Innama yadu, all he does, he invites you. He also da'a means to invite. Some da'wat is the invitation. So he calls or he invites all of you. Okay, now next word I want to explain here. It's very important to understand ha, za and ba. Hazaba. Hazaba means to make a group, to make a jamaat, to make a party. Okay. Noun is hizbun. Hizbun. Hizbun means party or a group. Party. And then we are going to combine this with a word or letter who means him. And this him is pointing to Shaitan. Okay, or just translate as he. It's a pronoun. Okay. So one word is hizbun, party. The next word is who, which means he, third person. And this he is pointing to Shaitan. Combine these two by putting an off in between, and it becomes party of he or his party. So the meaning of this word is his party. In Arabic, all you do is remove one dhamma, so it becomes his bohu. Want to make sure that we understand that. His bohu, by combination, this is a dhamma, this is a pesh. His bohu means his party. Now, from the context, what is his party? First of all, let me tell you that yad'u is a verb and it's coming, his bohu is coming after yad'u. So when a noun comes as a maf'ul after verb, Then we change this dhamma to a fataha, meaning does not change. Hizbahu still means his party, but it changed because of the grammatical reason. But so innama yadu, he only calls or invites his party. Who is his party? What is his party? From the next three words, when I explain, the meaning will come out that anybody among the human being joins, follow shaitan, is Allah is calling them his party. It is not that he has a group of jinns who are his party. These are the people who will follow him. They will become his party. So his book will apply to the mankind who are following shaitan. And how? Let's understand the next four words. I will explain more in details. The next word is liyakunu. So the root letters are kaf, waw, and noon. This means to become or to be. Okay, kauna means to be. Now when you put a ya in the beginning, at the grammar we have been seeing that it becomes third person present tense. So this will become yakunu. He becomes. Yakunu. Yaf'alu, he becomes. Then you put a plural. To make a plural, we put a waw and noon. Yaf'aluna. Yakununa. Yakununa is a plural. That means they become. So the meaning of this is they, whoever they are, become. And these are the people of his party. Okay. So what is yakununa? They become. Now we are going to add a letter lam with a kasra in the beginning. This is called lam ta'lil, and its meaning is so that. Taake, in Urdu we say taake, isliye ke, taake. Okay. Okay. When you put the lam ta'lil or lam in the beginning, it does two things. It kills this last noon and just leaves an alif there which is not pronounced. And the meaning will be so that instead of they become, they might become. They may become. Okay? Or they should become. So the meaning of li yakunu, which is in the Quran, is that so that li yakunu, they may become. Who are they and what they become? Next three words will explain that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, the word is ashab, is a common word. Sahibun means companion, one word. Sahib is used in Urdu also, sahibun. And its plural is ashabun. And it's commonly used as also in many places, but the full word is ashabun. Ashabun means companion. Okay. Then we are going to combine, so this is the word ashabun. Then we are going to combine this with another word, which is starts with these three letters, Sin, Ain, and Ra. Sa'ara. Sa'ara means a burning flame, a flaming fire, blazing fire. Okay. To have a fire which is blazing, not simple, but hard, burning, flaming fire. That's the meaning of this word. Sa'ir is the noun, and sa'irun, full word is sa'irun, and sa'irun means flame, a heavy burning flame. Okay. Now, when you put al before that, it becomes the flame. And this word is used for the hellfire. Dozakh, Jahannam. Okay. So when you pronounce al-saghir, sin will kill the sound of lam, and you pronounce as-saghiru, al will remove one dhamma. So word is as-saghiru. As-saghiru means the flaming, the blazing fire. Then you combine with the word ashabun, put an off in between, so meaning will be companions of the blazing fire. And when put the off in between, one dhamma goes here away, and this kasra, this last letter becomes kasra, and you pronounce ashabus sa'iri. At the ayat you stop. It'll be ashabus. Make sure that this is still ashabus sa'iri. Then you put a min before that. Min means among. And min is a harf-jar. Harf-jar will change ashabo to ashabi. So those are the words in the Quran. Min ashabis sa'ir. Among the companions of the blazing fire. So those people who will follow shaitan, number one, in this worldly life, they will become the hizb of shaitan, and in the hereafter, they will burn in the hellfire, the people. Okay? So hizb shaitan is the group or party of the shaitan which has the man. There may be jinns also in there, but here ashabis sagir will be the people who will be sent to the hellfire. So his bahu are the people. He says innama yad'u. He is inviting the people. He is inviting the mankind, which becomes his party, and in the hereafter they will become the people of the fire. Okay. So these are very powerful ayahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning that do not take shaitan lightly. Take him as your enemy, because he is your enemy, and you treat him as your enemy, not just any normal being or anyone. I don't care about shaitan. No, he is going to harm you. He is going to try everything possible to deviate from the right path. So make sure you understand and take him as your enemy. And enemy means you show your animosity towards shaitan. Okay? Try to oppose him at every minute, every time. Okay? Tell other people and stay away from the whispers of the shaitan, because that's the tool he uses to mislead the people. So may Allah give us tawfiq to understand the Quran. Sadaqallahul Azim. Jazakallah.